Well, KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi has made startling allegations against Minister Senzo Mchunu. He spent the day testifying at the Madlanga inquiry, which is looking into claims of political interference in police investigations. It comes after Mkhwanazi in July claimed that the political killings task team was disbanded after it found links between politicians, business people, police and criminal syndicates. Mkhwanazi alleges that there is evidence suggesting that the disbandment was due to breakthroughs in high-profile cases in Gauteng.
Commissioners, I am aware of the evidence that was extracted as the team in Gauteng were investigating, which made me reach the conclusion that indeed this is what made someone to influence the minister to close it, because the evidence that we're going to present later by someone who's going to come before this commission who were part of this Gauteng investigation, they uncovered that communication within the syndicates was making a reference to the team, not being understanding that what is happening in Gauteng is for Gauteng, is not for KZN.
You say communication between the syndicate, but you are not implying that that communication extended to the minister, are you?
To some degree, the associates, as I referred to here on this paragraph, are associates of the minister. And the very same associate does show communication that seems to suggest that the minister is fully involved in the decision that this syndicate is taking.
Mkhwanazi also testified that Mchunu interfered in the police's operational issues when he disbanded the task team.
Did the minister have the power to disband the PKTT? If he did, where did the power derive from?
Commissioner, when I started earlier, I had outlined, invited the commissioners to read the sections of the Constitution of the Republic on the role of the minister or the member of cabinet, which is the minister of police.
I remember the main thing you stated was that the minister creates or stipulates the policy. That's the main thing I heard. So that's why I'm now asking the question, because
yes,
I don't think disbanding the PKTT would be something relating to policy.
No, definitely, that is the only authority that the Minister of Police has in terms of policy and direction, but not on operational matters.
Well, let's discuss Mkhwanazi's testimony and whether or not he has enough to back his claims with legal analyst Melusi Xulu. Thank you so much for your time. I think first and foremost, when we are sitting in a commission like this, what kind of proof will the commission rely on to show whether or not there was political interference?
Good evening to you, Veronica, and to the viewers at home. Thank you for having me. Well, the type of evidence that will be needed is obviously the testimony of General Mkhwanazi, where he will be stating what happened and how he got the fact that there was some political interference or criminality by certain leaders in the justice system, even including allegedly the minister. So this is his testimony. And then he was saying today, if you heard, that there is communication or proof of communication by the syndicates and the minister allegedly that was happening. So all of those will be used as proof that there was some criminality or political interference or corruption that was done by the leaders of the criminal justice system.
And we're expecting quite a lot of people to be, of course, witnesses who themselves could also be politically affiliated. How do we expect the commission to test the credibility of some of these witnesses as well as the evidence that they provide?
Well, it will be based on the evidence that is against them if they're implicated. Say, for instance, it is stated that you as a certain leader of a certain department or allegedly the ministry, you were part of a syndicate that was making decisions and interfering in the investigations, and there's proof of those communications, then your credibility would be tested by how you defend yourself in saying it was not you or you were not involved in that. For instance, we know that General Smith has stated that it was not only him who decided about disbanding the PKTT or the political killing task team. So they will be tested by them providing rebutting evidence, if you will, and then that evidence will be also be tested by the leading evidence leaders in checking whether what they are saying is true or not. So it will be important that they are cross-examined. We've seen this in the previous commissioners of inquiry, that when you are there, and whatever you're stating will be tested. So what is important is that there is evidence, and if you are implicated, you must be able to prove against it. So that is why I'm sure today the attorneys of those who are implicated are listening, or the advocates, they are listening, and they'll be able to bring their proof to that will be tested as well.
Yeah, and I think that's the next question, is how important is cross-examination in a commission like this? Specifically, will it be strengthening or perhaps even undermining the witnesses' credibility?
Well, what is important about cross-examination, Veronica, is this. Firstly, you will bring evidence and say, for example, that what General Mkhwanazi is saying today, or everything that is testified about. When he's being cross-examined, the person will be, for example, representing, say, General Sbiya or General Kumalo or the minister, will be then be in a position to undermine the credibility of what he is spoken about. Or for instance, they will bring rebutting evidence. So cross-examination is important to test whether what you're saying is true or not. So at the end of the day, if it's not true, cross-examination will be able to bring that. And I think, and I'm not putting the cart before the horse, but I think, you know, Shamas is a very experienced police officer. He's got high qualifications, and he knows what he's doing. He knows his job. And it's not the first time he's bringing this evidence in the public. It was brought before in March, I believe, at the parliament. So he knows what he's talking about, and you can see his confidence when he provides the information. I would wish to see how the legal representatives of those who are implicated will be able to cross-examine on that. But as it's stated, sometimes the first person who brings evidence, it will be tested when it's cross-examined. But I do believe that, you know, he brought solid evidence today, which will be interesting how they will be able to crack.
Yeah, and there's also, of course, the very important aspect of whistleblowers in this regard. What role would they play, perhaps also in terms of them being insiders, police members themselves, in regards to the allegations made?
Well, I believe that, first of all, they are protected by witness protection team, possibly, but their role will be important because, you know, as a whistleblower, you actually bring evidence that is something that you've seen or that you not necessarily were part of, but it was something that you were close to. So whatever you bring is something that is very crucial for the state, so to speak, and for the person that is implicated, is something that will be very damaging or damning. So they will be playing a very crucial role because they will be bringing something that one would think, if a person is part of the system, they will be reluctant to come and bring it to the public, because the importance of a commission of inquiry, any commission of inquiry, is to bring events that are in the interest of the public to the public. So I believe it will be crucial. It will be something that will possibly not come out easily, because if you're a whistleblower, you're even at the danger of being killed. So I'm very interested in the whistleblowers' evidence that will be brought, if there are any whistleblowers that will come.
Yeah, well, certainly that is Melusi Xulu, a legal analyst. They're speaking, of course, about establishing whether or not this political interference that took place, that the Commission is, of course, probing, will have any weight, will, of course, test the credibility of that. Thank you so much for your time.